In other headlines, a final investigative report into the lift accident that severed an old woman's hand last month has been submitted to the Building and Construction Authority, or BCA. The independent authorized examiner found that safety devices in the lift were in working order. The report lays out what probably happened.
In the report, the authorized examiner reconstructed the sequence of events that took place on the morning of 9 October, after reviewing CCTV footage, medical reports and interviews, as well as inspecting and conducting tests on the lift. According to the report, on the day of the incident, 85-year-old Madam Khoo Bee Hua was holding a stack of lettuce and a walking stick in her left hand. She also had her dog's leash looped around her left wrist. Madam Khoo then entered the lift, pressed the lift button to the 16th floor and then the close button, all while seemingly unaware that the dog was still outside the lift lobby on the first floor as she was looking at the mail in her hand. So the leash, when the doors closed, was straddled across the lift doorway. The lift then began moving up, which tightened the leash around Madam Khoo's wrist. The pull of the taut leash would then have caused the victim to fall. It also dragged the dog upwards against the lift lobby doors. It's likely that this force caused the fulcrum action, which opened up a small gap at the base of the lift cabin doors. These doors are designed to be hung on rails at the top. So, if significant force is applied at the bottom of the doors, in this case the pull of the taut leash, they will be prized open, forming a slim A-shaped gap. Madam Khoo's left hand was pulled through this gap. It was then crushed and severed by lift parts as the lift continued to travel upwards. According to the examiner, the door protective devices were not able to detect the dog leash, as they were designed only to detect objects that are more than 10 millimeters thick. The dog leash was only 2 millimeters wide and therefore not recognized as an obstruction. The authorized examiner recommended stepping up public education on the safe use of lifts, as well as working with the industry to review the settings of various lift safety devices. BCA has accepted these recommendations. It also conducted its own investigation. It verified that the lift safety devices were working and complied with both local and international standards.
Now, the victim's son, who wanted only to be known as Mr. Lee, tells us he is disappointed with the report and feels it's unsatisfactory, but he hasn't yet thought about whether to take legal action.
If all these standards comply, why accidents still happen? If the accident happen, does it imply that the standard is not good enough or it's too low, that cannot avoid this kind of accidents? To me, the recommendation that they have stated is a very general statement to set up effort on education, to work with industry. For me, should be more specific recommendation on how to prevent similar accidents happen.
Jurong Town Council says it regrets the accident which took place at Tah Ching Road in Jurong. Its insurer, AXA, has offered to help Madam Khoo with her medical expenses as well as home care support after she leaves hospital. Her son says the amount in question is about $40,000. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Tah Shanmugaratnam, who is MP for Jurong, says that the community will make sure Madam Khoo is well taken care of. He visited her this week and says she is making a steady recovery.